As you know, I love bringing in guests and discussing about whatever with them here on Talkin at Time. Today I brought in a very special guest who I'll be interviewing and discussing about ... because you'll be finding out later on here on this very episode. Enjoy! Hello everybody, welcome back to Tatiana Time. Here, I'm introducing a very new segment called Table Talking, where I interview people, usually during lunch or after school, interviewing students about their lives and everything, and just questions on any kind of topic. So I'm here with
Hailey Coleman. Hi.
Yes, and today we're going to be talking about Hailey and her singing journey and just basically everything, what made her want to sing and what she's doing with her singing career now. And so, yeah. So, when did you start singing?
I started singing when I was very young. I'd say maybe about 6 or 7 years old. That was when I, quote unquote, started singing. When I started getting trained vocal lessons, I was about 10 years old. And it's been about maybe 7 years trained, maybe 10 years singing. About now, yeah, that's how long I've been singing.
And describe your singing journey.
My singing journey has been a long and treacherous one, I'll be very honest. Because at the beginning, I was people always compliment you, saying oh, you're so good at singing, and oh, that was so nice. But when you view yourselves towards others, especially in the singing industry, it's very different and very hard because you're comparing your development to other people's development, and they develop faster than you, and it's just so detrimental to your confidence. But I had to learn over time that everybody develops differently and everybody's voice is going to sound differently. Everybody has their own versions of good, and I had to learn my own version of good. I'm still learning and I'm still progressing. My voice has definitely got a lot better since I was young, but I have my own version of good, and I'm very happy with that. As for my singing career now, I think I've progressed a lot. I'm going higher and higher, and I would hope to just keep going up from here.
Period. If you ever have your first concert, please let me know and let me in for free. But also, isn't when it comes to the singing industry or the music industry in general, it's very competitive?
It is very competitive, and I think it's mostly competitive because there are a lot of talented people out there, but it's not just about the talent or the fact that you can do all this and that. It's what you're bringing to the table that's different from others, like a different genre of music, or bringing something that nobody's heard before, or just vocal range in general. When somebody has can do hard things with your things that are difficult to sing for long periods of time, that is just so admirable in general. It's I'd love to be like that someday. I'm still learning, still training, but I think that's really what it is.
Yeah, and off topic, I don't know if it's relevant or anything, but doesn't this also go into people saying people who are not really talented but then have a spot in the industry, and people are no, you shouldn't be here, you don't sing too well. How would you react to that?
I think when it comes to the music industry, music does not really define talent. Music is something that everybody can bring to the table. Now, singing is different. It's really hard to go far in the music industry if you can't sing well. Of course, you can be trained, but you have to really have that drive and that power. You really have to know how to go get it if you want to go far in the singing industry. As far as the music industry, you can write music, you can learn how to play an instrument, you can tag team with somebody and really just go back and forth. There's plenty of things you can do. I think anybody is open to it. I would never turn somebody down. And then again, I'll be very brutally honest with you, so you can do better in the future. I'll help you learn with tough love, but I think that's how it is. I would never turn somebody down just like that. No.
Exactly right, because it feels people just they can't hit a right no, and then they let them go, just
exactly.
That. You can practice with them.
I'll hear them say that, and I'll be okay, let's go back and let's figure out what was wrong. Let's practice some tuning. Let's practice some diction, some all these vocal exercises we get. We got lots of resources. We just got to know how to use them.
Exactly. And what did you have to overcome when it came to singing?
What I had to overcome was, I think I said this earlier, was comparing myself to other singers. Because don't get me wrong, I love my voice and I'm very confident in my voice. But when you hear somebody who's around the same age as you, and in your mind you're picturing them doing just so much more than you, it's so detrimental to your confidence. And it really hurt me, especially when I was around maybe 13, 14. My voice was okay around 13, 14. Of course, other people my church members, they'd be oh, your voice is so cute. So I'm I don't want just a cute cute voice. I want a powerful voice.
Exactly.
I want a voice that's going to bring me up on stage and lift others up. That's what I wanted. That was really my biggest obstacle when it came to singing. And, like, you know, of course, it's okay to have music knowledge, and I have that now because I've been training for so long, but you really have to know yourself. You really have to know your own voice inside out. I think that's also a big obstacle that a lot of people need to just trickle over as time flows by. I'm still trying to find my voice. I've learned how I can critique my voice in a better way to make it sound good, but I just really need to find out what works for me. And this is the obstacle that I'm facing right now.
Yeah.
Like, I can sing, but like I sing the national anthem all the time. I sing like classical music, and don't make me wrong, I love singing the national anthem. I love singing classical music, but it's not speaking to me the way other things speak to me sometimes. I think I would really like to go into soul singing.
Yeah.
Just learning really how to put feelings into music, because to me, music is not music if there's no emotion behind it. It's just not the same.
That's so true. And like, I guess you're also speaking on like how you would want, I guess, like more opportunities presented to you other than like singing the national anthem. You like to go bigger than that.
Of course, yeah. Now I'm very appreciative of the opportunities that I have now. I just got invited back to Audi Field to sing for the Washington Spirit women's national team.
Right. Praise up! I know that's right, Hailey. Yeah.
Yeah, but of course I would love bigger opportunities. I get so much as it is right now, and I could not be more thankful. But of course, if I'm getting this, of course I'm gonna go bigger. I'm gonna want to do more. I'm like, I'm not just stopping here. Of course not.
And let's see. Express how you were feeling when you sang the national anthem.
At DC United?
Yeah.
Ooh, Lord, that was such an adrenaline rush. And I'm gonna be honest about it, I keep telling people, that performance compared to others was the least nerve-wracking. There were 17,000 people in those stands.
Ooh.
And I guess it's easier to not be nervous when you really can't see anybody. I mean, there was a camera like right in front of my face, but that's different. Like, you're just looking at the camera, you're just singing. Maybe it was the sound system. The sound system was fabulous. It made my voice sound so good.
Yes.
Like how I was feeling very much present within myself. It's like there was nobody else there. That was really what I wanted to feel. That's what I want to feel as a singer. I want to feel that kind of adrenaline rush. It's not the kind that you would feel on a roller coaster, but like the excitement you get when you're doing something you love. It's just, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm standing right here.
That's like a really good feeling. It's like you're in the zone. That's what you're trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, they talk about how people, they go into sports, like when they're playing like basketball, they go. That's what I was in the music zone. I was like, you try to tap me on the shoulder, I'm like, I don't see you. I don't hear you. I don't see you. You're not there. I'm singing. Like, leave me alone.
Period. You're just to yourself. And what are some advantages and disadvantages when it comes to singing?
Some advantages, I guess, is when I sing, it's really, I guess it helps me socially a lot, because when you see talented people, you're like, oh, who's that? You kind of want to peek your head over the shoulder, like, oh, who's that? Who's that? Is she a singer? Like, what is she doing? So that would be my advantage. It brings people closer to me, like whether it's big time people or just new friends, new people. You get lots of communications. Some disadvantages, my throat hurts. Oh my goodness. I'm not saying that like because I'm like straining or anything, but like when you sing a lot.
Yeah.
So the past performances I've had in like the past 2 weeks, I've had like 6. It's, oh my goodness. But yeah.
And just a question, do you use like from your, I think what I learned from chorus class is like your diaphragm. Do you use that sometimes?
Yeah, when you sing in general, you should never breathe, and your shoulders should never come up when you breathe in. You should breathe from your diaphragm, so your rib cage should go out. That's how you really get a big breath in to really belt out a note. And also something that I learned, I just wanted to share, vibrato is a natural thing. So if someone's forcing vibrato, they're not doing it right. I just want to tell you guys that.
And who are your influences and idols when it comes to music?
My idols, see, it's kind of that's actually more of a difficult question, because I tend to not idolize other singers because I want to set the standard for myself. I don't want to be like somebody else. I want to be my own person. Of course, there are others that I look up to. I really like Ariana Grande's voice, just because it would seem so small until she just shows you that it's not. It's like, holy crap. Okay. Like, all right, I get it. And like just big time singers like MJ, Michael Jackson, his voice is so unique, and I love that about him. I love that it's like not something that you hear every day, especially with people like Billie Eilish or Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is slacking right now, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Like when she was in her good era, she had some very good vocals. And Celine Dion. Celine Dion can sing. I don't care what anybody says. She can sing.
Period. Like, to me, I don't know why, but I favor I think it's called low register singers, like Jasmine Sullivan and Brandy, them.
People who have more alto registers, that's probably the favored register when it comes to being like a singer that can really belt it out.
Yeah.
Because, and I'll give you like a quick little voice lesson real quick. You have your alto voice, your chest voice, your mixed voice, and your head voice. I am mainly a mixed voice and head voice singer. I'm a very high soprano. I can go to very high notes, but that also makes it difficult for me to belt out lower notes, like belts out middle chest voice notes. And that was, so when I sang DC United, I was singing in my chest voice, but it was the first time I've ever belted like that in a long time. Wow. And it didn't hurt, but it was a little bit straining. Like you may not be able to hear it on, I bet you some trained musicians, they may hear like, oh, you're straining. Like, that's okay. But that's like the basis between vocal registers, and so that can make it really, really difficult to train your voice to sing in a different way you're not used to. That's what I'm working on now. I'm working on singing in my lower register more, because your lower register is what you're talking. I've got a low talking voice. I don't know why I can't sing in it, but it's okay. That's where I am right now.
Yeah, maybe like one day you can definitely belt out some good notes and like definitely sing low register, because like I think it would be pretty cool if you can do low register and high register at the same time. Like, just
that'd
both.
be cool.
Yeah. And what type of influence would you want to put on Gaithersburg High School with your singing?
I would want to let everybody know to just go be a go-getter. Everybody always talks about doing big and being successful and doing all this and that. I'm like, you really have to want it. Exactly. And from a young age, I've always wanted to be a singer. Not just because people told me I was good at singing, but music brought some kind of joy. I was like, I feel like I'm at church right now. It is awesome. And I really, really want to be like a big time singer. It's like, but go big or go home. Of course, I'll keep singing even if I don't make it big. But what I want to tell everybody is people are going to judge you regardless. So don't be afraid of what anybody's going to say. You have to know your own worth first before you try to go do anything.
Exactly.
Be a go-getter. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone, and learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and don't get comfortable. All of these things. Don't sit in where you are. You need to learn how to take steps forward constantly.
Exactly. You know, that advice, damn, that just hit me real well. I know this one advice where it's like, it's best not to stay still. Like, keep on
Don't
moving.
get frozen in time. That's not what you want to be. Like, for me, I was singing, when was it? I think it was like maybe the start of this year or like the end of last year. I went from singing to high school wrestling matches and track meets to singing to the military honor flights and just straight up to DC United. And now we're applying for the Washington Nationals, and I'm singing for the Washington Spirits game in June. So it's really just not, and of course I was nervous about all this stuff, but you have to really open your eyes and see it more as an opportunity. Like, excuse me, you're singing for this Major League Soccer team? Like,
exactly.
hello?
Yeah. And it's like some people will be like, they will kind of downsize that opportunity, like make it seem like it's not big when it's like really big to you no matter what.
And I was like, that when I first heard that it's funny because they asked me.
Period.
That's the thing. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, you coming to me? Okay. And so I was like, don't ever play down my accomplishment like that. I'm like, that's going to be one of my biggest feats. Even if I do things that are bigger, I'm like, the fact that people are reaching out to me to sing,
that's a sign.
I was like, that's Jesus right there. That is God.
Amen. So, inside of Gaithersburg High School, how do you work on your singing skills?
So inside Gaithersburg, if you don't know, I'm one of the co-presidents of our choral foundation along with little Lana Pooh. I guess what I do to perfect my voice in chorus is just singing. It's always just singing constantly. I'll work on myself. If teachers can help me, then I'll accept any type of advice people give me. But it's really training yourself to not sit comfortable in just one register. I really want to build range. That's really what all great singers should have, is really good range. You can hear a singer with a great lower range, but they can hit like a high E and you're like, holy shit. You're like, like, oh my gosh. So that's really what I wanted. That's what I do mostly in Gaithersburg High School, and learning leadership skills with music. Because knowing how to take charge is one of the key crucial points to getting out there. Then knowing how to take charge with others related to music is a big thing too. If you're going to be a big successful artist or singer, you need to know how to take charge of your staff. You need to know how to communicate with people. You need to know how to do all this and that. So that's really what I'm doing right now. So, yeah.
And another thing relating to advice, throughout your singing career, you probably gotten like a lot of advice on your voice and just like your performance and everything. How do you, what is it, like, which kind of advice do you take and which kind of advice you don't take? Like, what resonates with you?
So, what I do, well, first, there's something that my dad told me a long time ago, and he was like, the first thing you need to do is just listen. You need to humbly sit down, sit your butt down, and listen. Because regardless of if the criticism is good, helpful, or just complete nonsense, they're trying to offer something to you, like whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So whatever people say to me, I will sit down and listen, and most of the time I'll be like, okay, and I'll try to reflect on it, like maybe they are right. I'll do that first, and if I look back and I'm like, I still think this is nonsense, I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me, then I'll be like, whatever. Yeah. But most of the time you should always take criticism with a grain of salt, just sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Then for our last question, outside of Gaithersburg High School, how have you been able to work on your singing skills?
So outside of Gaithersburg High School, I've been trained for about 7 years. I trained with Miss Joan McFarland. She won a Grammy back in 1990-something.
Okay.
I love bragging about that because I just love my teacher so much. Oh, my goodness. And that's also another piece of advice. I would say, get you some good coaching. If you get some good, it don't matter if it costs you build up that money. You get yourself some good coaching. That's what I'll do. And so I've been trained for about 7 years outside of Gaithersburg High School. I sing for the Children's Chorus of Washington and D.C. I have sang for the All-State Choir. I've sang for the District Choir and a couple other choirs back when I was younger. I do solo singing a lot. I sing for the military honor flights for Austin, Texas at the World War II Memorial. I sang for birthday parties. I sang National Anthem for like track meets, wrestling matches, whatever it may be, sports events. And that's really what I do. I feel like I'm missing something. There should be something else, but it's just constantly singing back and forth.
And that's good. And you're building up your experience. Not only that, but also working with a Grammy-winning like vocal coach is like really good. Plus, it's like good networking. So yeah. So that is all. Thank you to the one and only Hailey Coleman.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Oh my gosh. And when is it? In June, right?
June 10th is when I'm singing for the Washington Spirits. Y'all better go watch. Yeah, I don't know if they're streaming it live or anything, but go buy yourself a ticket. They're not expensive, I promise.
Thank you so much.
Bye.